For the realization of these examples on basic linear perspective, I have used a tool that I consider very useful for learning linear perspective. Such a tool is one of the many three-dimensional video games that currently exist, which by means of a three-dimensional graphic engine has the ability to generate complex linear perspectives in real time and in an exact way. But before we begin, we need to learn a couple of key concepts about linear perspective. All the lines that vanish or converge on the same point are parallel to each other. We call horizontal the lines that converge on the horizon, and vertical those that are perpendicular to the horizontal. Vertical lines are also defined as those that point towards the center of the earth, like the line formed by the chord of a bricklayer's plumb line. In the images that we will see next, the blue line represents the horizon, which is always horizontal, and the center of the aquamarine circle represents the viewer's point of view. Here we look at a window in a completely frontal way. Since we have our point of view located on the horizon, the vertical lines remain parallel and therefore do not converge. Now we look a bit upwards. We see that the vertical lines converge towards the sky, towards a vanishing point located above our head, called zenith. Now we look a bit downwards. We see that the vertical lines converge towards the ground, towards a vanishing point located under our feet, called nadir. This is an example of front or parallel perspective. It is characterized by having a single vanishing point, which is located on the horizon and coincides with our point of view. Now we see an example with two vanishing points, which are located on the horizon. As we also have our point of view located on the horizon, the vertical lines do not converge. Here we have an example with three vanishing points. When turning the view upwards, we see that the vertical lines converge upwards, towards a vanishing point located above our head, called zenith. And here we have the opposite example with three vanishing points. When turning the view downwards, we see that the vertical lines converge downwards, towards a vanishing point located under our feet, called nadir. And, finally, see where the sides of the stairs converge. The horizontal lines on the wall to the left converge on the horizon, precisely because they are horizontal, while those on the sides of the stair converge on a point above the horizon, because they are inclined. If they were inclined downwards, they would converge on a point below the horizon. The distance from the vanishing point to the horizon is determined by the angle of inclination of the lines. As we have seen, there are three basic conditions for a vanishing point: convergence of horizontal lines at the horizon, convergence of vertical lines at the poles, zenith and nadir, and convergence of inclined lines somewhere between the horizon and the poles. The choice of perspective greatly affects the aesthetics of a visual composition, since it can be balanced and harmonious or, conversely, unbalanced and strident.